conditioning of man and the subsequent consequences. Now, if it's not obvious, I'm a man. As such, I was once a boy, and I have distinct memories from when I was a boy, things that were ingrained in me from a very early age. Um, some things were explicitly ingrained, others were implicitly ingrained. It was like you're led to believe this is how you should respond or react as you age or in a given circumstance. I'm just going to speak on a couple of those things. So, one topic I distinctly remember when I was younger, I would hear people talk about this a lot, mainly females that I grew up around. And that topic was that men aren't really good, particularly in relationships. And we also are told and conditioned to think from a very young age that the realm of emotions is and will forever be beyond our reach. Now, when a young boy constantly hears what's wrong with men, the words that are used from people that he grew up around, it can be inferred that that is to be expected from him moving forward. Now, I don't think I need to get into specifics or details of the types of complaints. You can imagine the types of complaints that a young boy would hear at a young age regarding men from women. Then there's the emotional angle. That's something that's just ingrained as well, that we are not supposed to understand emotions or know how to express them. See, when these things are ingrained, the expectations of what's going to be required from that boy who will become a man are very low. And that man grows up and he's acting like he's supposed to act, like he's been conditioned to act. Another way of conditioning, or a third one, that boys experience from a very young age is that we get asked very early in our lives, 5, 6, you got a girlfriend yet? How many girlfriends do you have? What's wrong with you? You don't got any girls yet? I think many of you would agree that this is the kind of thing that's pretty commonplace. It's probably good natured, right? But you're setting a precedent that a boy, when he reaches a certain age, should prioritize pursuing women, many women. So with these three things, a boy becomes a teenager becomes a man, the expectations were set very low, at a very low bar, at a very young age. So in his mind, when he exhibits certain behavior that he's supposed to exhibit and gets a reaction as if he's not supposed to exhibit that behavior, he's confused. He says things like, well, I mean, you know what it was? Like, what did you expect? You know? Now, I can get to conversation about more of my personal experiences, but it's really not necessary. I think you get the point. These men are out here acting like they were trained to act, and you're angry because they act that way. So, what seems to me is that the consequences of being a boy are becoming a man. It's a tremendous responsibility. And it is not easy for anyone, man or woman, to reject the very reality that's been thrust upon them at a very young age. It's almost impossible, but that's the expectation. Can you see the problem with that? Like, as a thought experiment, could you imagine what such a man would look like? Well, what kind of man would that be that could reject his very reality every step of the way? What would it look like? Can you see him? Well, I'll give you a hint. And this is just another thought experiment on a thought experiment. These are the types of cascades that I like to follow when I have free time, like I do now. So, in my mind, such a man would probably stand still when a reaction is warranted. I imagine him thinking slowly in the midst of chaos. I also imagine a man that moves in silence without the need for validation. What once was is still, and what is will always be, unless we start thinking dope and stop thinking dumb.